Ganache. So you know when you have a truffle, you bite into it, the inside is called a ganache.
Oh.
And it's basically a chocolate, butter or cream emulsion. That's, you know, mayonnaise?
Yeah.
Same principle. So I'm just a glorified mayonnaise maker. So, these were ganaches I made, but I'm not happy with them, so I just use them for tests. And I've just received this new, what we call transfers. So this one is not a very good example. They haven't worked really well. But that's because the top of the ganache is really, so I want the top to be really flat. But because the original product is a mess, because I made a mistake.
We're streaming it.
So you see all of these, normally all of this must be super smooth, but I made a mistake.
Show us the mistake.
Well, it's just that it's not,
No, because we need to
no,
learn. Oh, yeah.
that's not smooth, you see.
Ah, okay.
And the problem is when you put transfer sheets, it needs to be smooth, and that basically is my logo, which is a hummingbird and a flower.
Show us.
That's the logo.
Oh, yeah.
It's the logo of my company.
That's clever.
There you go, you can pass it around.
Oh, pass it around.
Smell it.
You can all take one in. It's got a bit of rum in it, but hardly any. So
Mum's watching.
food you can actually. You know, there's no law about alcohol in food.
Is that right?
No.
Okay.
So if you want to take
So
one,
Shani, no law about alcohol in food. It's okay.
This is rum and raisin, but it's very little rum. I mean, you need a few of it to do the If you want to try, go ahead.
What's that?
Rum
What
raisin.
happened to the white one?
Oh, these haven't been in roast. So this machine.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, I'm turning that into a little
Oh, and
secret back.
So this morning I've been doing some testing, you see, to try a new method of using the machine, because you always think new ways of doing things. So when I mess something up, like this one is messed up, I just keep them to then do some trials. So this machine there,
What do you think, Dan? Yeah?
Brilliant. It's
Tres bonjour.
bonjour. Bonjour. Was it good? Mange tout, mange tout.
That's it.
The thing with chocolate is it's basically, it's very simple and yet it's fairly complicated. So, you know when you have a bar of chocolate, you know how shiny it is, if it's a good one, and it snaps, and doesn't melt straight away in your hand. Well, that's called tempered chocolate, or crystallized. So, when it's like metal, to get the metal hard, you have to crystallize it. If you do it right, when you're seeding with metal, if you don't get the right amount of crystal, and you're the science guy, so you mentioned me I'm completely wrong, then you get something very, very soft. So for example, I know that Boeing, did you tell me about Boeing? No?
And the metal fatigue.
Yeah, you know when you look at a reactor for a plane,
Yeah.
with all the long mesh or whatever blades,
Oh yeah.
but those are tempered in a way that they're very flexible. They flex. So with chocolate it's very much the same. So have you ever seen a chocolate pièce montée, you know, with a bird and a tree? Have you ever seen those? You can do things with, and what you use is you temper the chocolate in a way so it remains very soft. But that's not good in confectionery because if the chocolate is soft, it's gonna melt in your hands very quickly.
Ah.
So what we do.
Have a look at that. That's nothing that's making a noise. That's doing something with chocolate.
You looking fine, so I
Whoa.
Untempered chocolate. This is untempered chocolate.
Okay.
So it's bloomed because all the I mean this one, if I remember well, probably didn't have any crystals. So the crystals in cocoa butter melt above 40 or 40%. Now since chocolate is 50% cocoa butter, that's where all the crystals are. Over 40 degrees, it becomes crystal neutral. Then what you have to do is bring it back to the right crystal, which is beta 2 or number 5 in the chart. And so you've got to bring the chocolate back down from 45 all the way down to 27 degrees, and then bring it all back up with movements. The movement's very important. And instead of having this, when you get to 32 degrees and crystal beta 2, this is what you get. So at each level, you'll get a different type of crystal, but to make it simple, this is perfect. So when you break it, you hear the snap. Whereas if I break this, there'll be no snap.
One of our live viewers just asked, is it a similar process with white chocolate?
Yeah. Different temperatures.
Different temperatures.
Different temperatures. But still, yeah. It's cooler because it's cream and milk. So you have to bring it
The
down.
transition is at a different temperature.
So when you crystallize dark chocolate, it's up to about 32, 33 degrees. Milk is about 30, 29, and 28 for white.
Oh, wow.
But it all depends also on the atmosphere, the humidity, the temperature in your room. So for example, here I like to work at 19, 20 degrees. I'm at 22 now.
Because we came in, we were all here.
But it's okay, it's not going to change anything.
Yeah.
So this machine is brilliant because it tempers the chocolate for me. So, I just said that you actually go from 45 degrees or 40 crystal neutral, so basically everything's melted, and then bring it down, bring it back up. Well, this machine does that all for me. Brilliant. So basically here's a big vat, and what it does is it keeps, in this case, it's at about 36, but that's wrong anyway, so I won't worry too much about it. Because it keeps, when the chocolate goes through the machine, it's at 40 degrees, and then it goes through a tube, which brings it down to 18 degrees. Now normally chocolate will set at 18 degrees, but chocolate sets at 26 degrees. It melts at 36 degrees, and it sets at 26. Because it's fairly quick, it goes through there, the chocolate is brought down from 40 degrees all the way down to 32 to 18 degrees, and then it goes back up to an archimedeal screw. You know what an archimedeal screw is? I think there's another name for the archimedeal screw. Basically a screw that goes on forever. So you see them, for example, when you need to bring liquid up on a... so if you have to bring liquid from the bottom to the top, it's very difficult, isn't it? Because water stays obviously at the lowest point possible. And basically it's a screw that never stops turning and brings the liquid. So there's a big one in here, and I always say that I should have my chocolate fountain. People laugh about a chocolate fountain because they're a bit naff. I don't think they are, I think they're brilliant. But the reason why people don't like them is because people usually pour chocolate, but also the chocolate needs to be more liquid. So what they do is they put any odd oil in a cooking oil. Which, if I do one, I don't. I can cocoa butter. I wouldn't sleep if I had oil in chocolate. But basically, because the chocolate fountain, when you see a chocolate fountain, it all comes down again, so it goes back up. And it's basically an archimedeal screw. So, it's a good way to explain it. So the archimedeal screw is in a tube that warms the chocolate up to 28.7 degrees. So I've decided that for this chocolate, the best temperature for the crystallization of Beta 2 crystal is 28.8 to 28.7. How do I know that? I don't know.
Testing.
It's just, it's practice. So that's what this machine does. There's a traditional way of crystallizing. You've seen that, the big marble tables. Now I use that for show, but I will never use it to work. And basically what you do is you've got your chocolate at 40 degrees, 45 degrees again, in a vat. You put 1/3 on the table. And the reason why it's marble and thick is because the marble keeps cool much longer than anything else. If I put it here, the metal or the stainless steel would
high specific heat capacity of marble.
Sorry?
The physics is high specific heat capacity.
That's it. And so basically it doesn't move. So what you do is, with 1/3 is you with movement, always have to have movement. You move the chocolate around with your equipment. And when it gets down to 26 degrees, you put it with the rest, which is probably still at 40 degrees, and then you get to 32 degrees. And that's crystallized. So that's the old method. There's a lot of, and I don't use it because, I don't know, I didn't come to work on a horse. And this does it brilliantly. So this machine, what it does, so I can use it for many, many different things. One of them is if I'm making chocolate bars. I've got another attachment over there which vibrates and heats up and does all sorts of things. Where this is great is with the ones that I've done, and you all get a go because you want to have fun. So these.
We had a comment. Chocolate is so complex.
Maybe somebody as dumb as me managed to do it, but so with these, basically get a ganache. So I made these by hand, literally by hand. So this is some I've made this morning. You're more welcome. There's some spoons somewhere over there.
Oh yeah.
Have a go. This is made with whiskey.
I'm going to try one of these.
I
didn't have one.
Hey, that hasn't done anything.
There you go. This is a brand new ganache I've made this morning.
Oh wow.
Wow. So that's the inside.
That's the inside, yeah.
And it's like softer.
it will get tougher. I mean, it's getting a bit warm in here, so I'm going to actually put it in here. And that's been made with this whiskey here, which is made by a friend of mine called Donald. Not the Donald. Don. He's a really nice guy. Yeah, that's what we do. Then I thought we had more. So the thing is with chocolate is hydrophobic.
Oh, Grace knows all about that.
Yeah, hydrophobic. Hates.
And Mark and Kaneko.
That's okay, get over with the fridge. We'll have a look at the fridge in a minute. So, hydrophobic, doesn't like humidity. Chocolate, I mean, I was talking to a very good friend of mine from Martin Market, who I reckon is the best chocolatier in England. And we wonder, why do we work with chocolate? It's a nightmare. I can't send any orders at the moment. It's too hot.
Hydrophobic means it hates water.
Can't do anything else. So, with chocolate, so when you work in your lab, you have to have, I try to work with about 50% humidity and 19 to 21 degrees depending on what I do. So at the moment this is still working, but I'm going to have to put another AC just because I think it's running a bit. Which is great, people look at me here. And in winter it's even better because it's 5 degrees outside, you come in here, it's 20 degrees. So what you do is so humidity, temperature, everything is really important. And when I've made these, which you have just seen what they look like, that particular batch you see, what I will do is I will cover it with chocolate. So I put chocolate with ganache, so I get from here, but I don't want it tempered, so I'll probably do it under temperature, which is crystal, what is it? Number 6 in the thing here, probably what it's then, 35, and then 32, 32 is another thing. So what that does is I cover it, and then I cut it with this wonderful machine, which has got many names. I call it Louis. So it's either called a guitar or a guillotine. That's why I call it Louis.
Oh, very good.
Louis is historically very linked to guillotine. And so basically I have to cut in with this. But if I put the ganache straight onto this, it's going to stick. Because the ganache is buttercream, so it's going to stick. Whereas once I put the layer of under crystallized chocolate, it becomes a texture. The reason why I under temper it is so that it cuts easier. So as you've seen with this is quite hard.
Right.
Whereas if I under temper it, then it's much easier. And then normally you get very nice little things like this on the back. What I did with these ones is I did the one before I cut them, then I cut them, then the next day for some odd reason I decided to do it again.